It's really interesting how the celebrating of evil actually woke some kids up, woke some young people up, woke some older people up to realize something is really off. And it helped them spiritually to reach out to Jesus. And so that is the good news. That is what anyone who believes in Jesus and has put their trust in Jesus can find some solace in. And so, but it's heavy. There's been a lot of heavy, and we're going into increasing heaviness. That's what do you expect the end to look like, right? And so a shift did occur last week, and we've heard a lot of people talking about it. But really, I don't know how much of a shift it was. We're going to talk about it being an identity shift, which I think that's really what it was. But it's more people are becoming aware of the season that we're in spiritually and biblically. Now, I think more people are becoming aware of this, even if they can't put their finger on that it's because Jesus is about to come back. More and more people are saying things are getting really, really dark. Things are getting really, really evil. And people are asking questions and looking for truth. And so I think because of that, more people are becoming aware of the season, this season of the return of Jesus. And the winds of this season are growing stronger and stronger, which makes so much sense biblically when we look at these patterns that we've been talking about, because we're literally, prophetically, as well as literally in the season of return right now. We've been talking about this since Elul started. This whole 40-day period from Elul 1 going up to Yom Kippur is the season of return. And we can feel it. We can feel the pattern of this time is to become more serious and more somber and more repentant as you get closer to that 40th day, that day of Yom Kippur. And boy, don't we feel that? The repentance, the heaviness, the crying out for return. I mean, I really feel it. And so today, as of this recording, is Elul 23. And that in and of itself is kind of interesting because 23 is a date that a lot of people are looking at, which of course is a week from today, is September 23rd, which is when Rosh Hashanah, which is the Feast of Trumpets, begins. And so it's interesting to see this number repeatedly coming, this number. And man, you can go down some rabbit trails about the number 23. But the assassination, the martyrdom of Charlie Kirk, I do believe it was prophetic and reflective, not just in America. I mean, if you're seeing the responses, there are responses, both evil, ugly responses, as well as mourning responses, worldwide, everywhere. There is a response. The whole world felt this death, which I think in and of itself is interesting. And, but that's not the only thing that happened last week. Last week was an extremely prophetic week. Here we had the United Nations pushing forward the establishment of a Palestinian state, which they're going to bring to the docket, of course, on the Feast of Trumpets, September 23rd. And so, but they brought that forward. So much happened this past week, prophetically. It's really, really incredible. Not only that, but we'll also look at that the Arab nations are trying to form a NATO type, which is interesting when you look at Psalm 83 war and when you look at Ezekiel 38 and 39. A lot of these things are the very kind of backbone of some of the events that we're going to see happening very soon. Or, well, I don't think we're actually going to see a lot of this. We'll be watching maybe from the vestibule. But um, here, this week has been heavy, heavy. And the reactions, of course, that people have had have been very telling and very, very interesting.